final. I am your play-by-play analyst, Piz Delariz. I'm joined by my color commentators, Stefano Berardi, and the far less colorful, far less interesting, far less intelligent, far less useful, Simon Dagenet. We're here in the game. We're here in the game between the U and Glow Gang, number 1 versus number 2. Guys, this is the first season we've used the system where we promote teams and relegate teams from Division E1 and E2. You guys are both on the committee. How do you feel now seeing the top 2 teams, the top 2 ranked teams playing each other in the final?
I feel like we made the right decision, obviously. But these were my top guys going in. These 2 were my selection for the final, even before it started the playoff run, because I've seen most of their games and they both have some really solid teams, and this is going to be an interesting matchup.
I believe whether you had the U number 1, Glow Gang number 2, or vice versa, the outcome's the same. The 2 best teams coming into the playoffs show that they were the 2 best teams and made the finals, and should be a very interesting game for the next 44-60 minutes.
Gentlemen, as you know, Glow Gang getting to the finals through their path. They had to beat my 1 speed power, so you'll have to excuse me as I will be entirely biased and partial against Glow Gang the entire time. Let's go, you! First of all. Second of all, I saw them warming up playing soccer. Soccer's a ridiculous sport. Don't waste your time. Children, if you're watching this game, never play soccer. It's bad for your health.
Also, Arnaud Desjardins still not present. It's a cause for worry.
Makes you wonder if he's drinking in the parking lot.
He might be drinking in the parking lot.
We don't know that. We don't have a camera in the
That's why I'm saying
lot.
might. See, I don't say facts that I'm not sure of, unlike Simo.
Correct.
Also, their defensive Oliver Suri is also nowhere to be seen right now.
Perhaps drinking with Arnold.
Perhaps they're probably drinking together.
Yeah.
That sounds like a legitimate excuse for them not being here right now.
Now, coming to the game, one of the storylines, Simo, is that Glow Gang were at a jamboree of sorts, playing a series of flag football or touch football games.
Tackle football.
Tackle?
Mm-hmm.
My mistake. Playing a series of tackle football games. Perhaps that's why we haven't seen the entrance of Olivier Suri or Arnaud Desjardins. Perhaps just not here, still in transit.
Most likely still in transit. I believe the game was moved for them for the team to be available. They all played together, or they could be other cause. Maybe he couldn't make it. Maybe he's tired. We never know.
The Glow Gang has deferred in absence of their quarterback. Instead is Evan Frank and his offense. The U ready to start this game. He starts with trips to the left. Joe Cano Titus on the snap. He goes in motion to the right, trying to diagnose the defense for Glow Gang. Evan Frank gets the ball, pumps immediately. The left-handed slinger goes upfield and gets the flag at about 6 yards.
Yeah, that was a good. That seemed like a design quarterback run. I'm pretty sure all the receivers out there were decoys, and from the start, he's like, I'm just gonna take off running and get us some early yardage just to get the momentum going.
You also get the whole momentum going in your way when your quarterback's able to run in the first play. He knows exactly what the rush is going to do moving forward. You get a good feel of the defense, who's moving where, who's moving what, and you get a good read of the field, similar to how you run all looks, for instance.
Yeah, and we saw him there. Now Evan Frank on 2nd and short. Now this time with the balance formation. He gets the ball. The southpaw throws over the middle, unable to complete the pass to Joe Cano.
They're facing a team that their majority of them play on the defensive side of the ball. They have the defensive knowledge, and most of them play as DBs. And
this is in their tackle football careers.
In the tackle football careers. There's a difference between the tackle football and flag, but defensive schematics are more or less the same without the contact, of course.
Mainly the tackling is the difference.
That is without the contact. That's what I said at the end.
But as DBs, the coverage remains the same, right?
That is
if
true.
you're playing man-to-man in tackle, you're playing man-to-man in flag, it's essentially similar.
On 3rd and short, Evan Frank pumps. Goes left, looks to maybe run. The defense collapses on him. He throws over the middle. It is complete. It is a huge catch in space by Kyle Pedvis. Guys, Kyle Pedvis, not a guy who's a burner, not necessarily the most physically gifted guy in the field, but he's always a difference maker for the U.
Yeah, he always finds openings in the defense. That was a dangerous throw there by Evan Frank. It seemed like it lost a bit of gas at the end, but the Glow Gang defense was pressing, so he had more room behind them, and he took advantage.
Simo, Glow Gang a little too aggressive by rushing the second rusher as Evan Frank broke the pocket.
I think they were expecting the run. I think even me, from this vantage point, the whole left-handed quarterback is confusing me. It might be confusing him too.
Pevis and Cano tight on the right side. Evan Frank looks to receive the snap. He gets it. It's high, but he controls it. He pumps and goes to his left. He's rolling, throws over the top. It is caught by Joe Cano, who tiptoes at the front of the end zone. It's a touchdown. Joe Cano.
Joe Cano, very solid receiver. He always loves getting the opportunity to make the catches. He's very enthusiastic, and he does what's best for his quarterback. As you can see, he was running alongside with him as he was cutting through the front of the end zone, and he was open in the end zone at the beginning.
The quarterback trusted the receiver to lead him and hope Joe Cano gets there. If the DB would have shot forward for that ball, it would have been a bang-bang play with him, but Joe is the bigger of the two, and he probably would have came down with it regardless.
Now on the convert, Evan Frank gets the snap, looks to the back of the end zone, instead delivers on the corner. It's a catch, 7-0. The U take an early lead over Glowgang.
A wide open convert right there. It seems like a drop in the coverage there, and it just didn't pan out. Evan Frank, very good, keeping his eyes ahead of him and just seeing everything. There seems to be someone running onto the field. That's Arnaud Desjardins, their starting quarterback. So maybe them deferring at the beginning of the game was the wise decision, considering they felt like he was on his way and they just needed to give him more time.
Flawless timing.
Yes.
Sorry. Flawless timing by Arnaud Desjardins to show up as the first drive occurs.
Well, growing up, my mom used to refer to my dad as James Bond, because he would always arrive just on time for dinner. James Bond, Arnaud Desjardins arriving just in time for Glowgang.
Nice.
Will we see Elliot Lambert take a few snaps to start the game, because he did throw some balls for Glowgang this season?
You might need to for now, because they won't be able to buy just enough time for him. The guys are showing up. They're not in the cleats. They have to change. The clock is against them, so they're looking at potentially burning a timeout to buy enough time.
They did. They just used one of their timeouts right here. They're just waiting and hoping. The clock is
they might have to burn a second timeout.
I'm not sure if that's the first or the second timeout, but they probably waited.
I believe it's the second time.
That's the second timeout. I thought they waited until the end of the rush, the end of the referee's count.
They most likely did, but that was more than 30 seconds, right? So you're looking at 30 seconds, 25 seconds the clock. So 54 seconds, another 30 seconds. You're barely looking at 2 minutes in between.
We've been stalling for a long time, so it's likely.
Yeah, they probably did use both the timeouts to ensure that their quarterback is prepared for this.
Well, the quarterback's ready. We also saw that their Olivier Souris just showed up as well, the defensive captain. It's the impact players are showing up. Yeah, Arnaud Desjardins was on the wrong side of the field. Putting his bags. He's in the game now. He's putting his bag back on. We're going to see. He hasn't warmed up. He does come back from playing tackle.
He has been throwing all day.
But he hasn't warmed up, so it's going to be interesting to see what he does with his first play.
We'll see if the rush kind of messed with the head a bit.
Some motion to start the game for Glowgang. Ball snapped. Quickly delivered to the right side. It's a catch. Doesn't look like Arnaud Desjardins needed any warm-up. Guys, is he perhaps too good for this division?
Now, Arnaud Desjardins is definitely a very strong quarterback. The fact that he's in Division E, I would say that he could compete in Division D as well. So he's probably very good both ways.
Arnaud Desjardins getting ready to receive his second snap of the game. It's slightly low, handles it well, delivers a deep ball over the middle to no one. And there's some miscommunication there on offense.
It looks more miscommunication than actually a bad pass per se. Arnaud Desjardins, like you mentioned, is probably too strong for this division, but there's still a few things. Like, he has the right mechanics. He's got really good release as a quarterback, as a thrower. He's amazing. But the play calling for Glowgang hasn't been flawless. They make up for it because they're the faster guys on the field. They're the better athletes, and the quarterback is amazing. Yeah,
Thomas Guerrier, they're not able to communicate with the quarterback and get on the same page. But now we see the ball delivered over the middle. It's going to be a first down. Great catch over the middle by Ludwig Stremler.
Very good catch that could have been bobbled and potentially intercepted by the DB. Joe Cano was sitting right there. But like you said, a very good catch.
There might have been a bit of a miscommunication because he seems to have stopped before the ball was going, but he ended up adjusting and making a very good play.
Aaron Rosenberger's a tall rusher, perhaps changing the arm angle for Arnaud Desjardins. Now moving to the right side to rush. Arnaud Desjardins going to his right, then spinning, then getting deflagged. Aaron Rosenberger, we just said his name, and he has a huge impact on this game to start.
Yeah, that was a great rush. He's going to have to continue doing this because Arnaud Desjardins likes moving around in the pocket and getting more open, and that was a very big play, and hopefully he could continue getting there.
Fun fact, rule-wise, you know this as a snapper.
If the snapper
places the ball down, the rusher's not allowed to switch sides without losing the protection he gets. So technically, the snapper could bump into him. There's no more protection for the rusher to get to the quarterback.
Correct. The rusher needs to be on a side in the rush zone prior to the ball being placed on the ground by the snapper. Arnold Desjardins getting the ball on first down, looks over the middle, spins away, and it's a second sack of the game. Sorry, that was second down. And now third down and long after the second consecutive sack by Aaron Rosenberger.
Yeah, as you can see, Arno, he likes doing that twist move to try to get away from the rusher, but Adam Rosenberg, he was sticking with him, and he didn't fool him, and he got him twice.
Considering as it worked the first play and it hasn't worked back to back, maybe you should stop going there.
Well, Arnold Desjardins did win a Division 6 championship in winter with all these moves, so perhaps he was twisting again like he did last winter.
Okay. Thank you for that.
Logang now third and long. Joe Cano lining up deep safety. It looks as though they're just trying to take away the deep ball that Arnold Desjardins is known so much for. He throws that deep ball in the face of Arnold Desjardins, and it is a catch. It is not a touchdown. It's just shy, despite the great effort there by Olivier Sori.
As you can see, he's more of a defensive guy, but he's also very capable of making that offensive play. Like, that was a perfect throw. Honestly, Arnold Desjardins hit him right in the chest, and it couldn't have been a more perfect throw in coverage.
Yeah, the villainous Olivier Sori, who caught 3 touchdowns last week against One Speed Power.
Very good communication between the receiver and the quarterback. He knew exactly where that ball was going. The DBs looked like they did not. They were expecting to be a little bit higher, and he came down and boxed them out perfectly.
Arnold Desjardins now first down in the red zone. He goes to his right, delivers the ball over the middle. It is caught for a touchdown. Francisco Perez, the first touchdown of the game for Logang.
See, that's their go-to play when they're at the 1 yard line. They have that quick out from Francisco Perez, and he's always just waiting for that ball right in his chest, and he's always sure-handed and makes that play.
Considering how the third down occurred, they had back-to-back sacks, and they were about midfield for that third and 25 at goal line. It's incredible to see that they managed to score, considering.
Arnold Desjardins getting ready to receive the ball on the convert, down 7-6. He looks to his left, goes back to the right, and Perez once again, after getting a touchdown, all 7 points belong to Perez on this drive.
That's it. That's usually all. That's basically his go-to guy in the red zone. He's got some great hands, and he just makes sure that he secures the catch before making any kind of movement after it.
13 minutes left in the first half. Once again, IMP's Del Reese joined by Stefan Berardi and Simon Dagenet. It is 7-7, tie game between Logang and the U.
Arnaud Desjardins is placing those balls perfectly for him to be like a back shoulder throw as he's running his routes. There's a lot of chemistry there, but those are really good throws.
First and 10 now for Evan Frank, who seems to be adjusting all of his equipment at once. Referee Craig O'Brien indicating the belt needs to be visible. Rule number 1, flag football. It's all about the flags.
Yes.
Ball being snapped. He pumps, he goes to his right, and he gets by the defender as he gets shoved out of bounds. Great call by the referee on the sideline.
It's a very good call considering how it happened. The guy was almost falling out of bounds. He went for the flags, but there was a little extra there. Like, it wasn't just going for the flags. It was a shove at the ribs, sort of making the point, right? Like, he's trying to make a statement. Unnecessary in a non-contact league.
Yeah, but you're talking about guys that are used to playing tackle, right? So this is like second nature to them. They got to adjust to the flag rules and try to reduce all contact. That was a bit rough. He didn't need to shove and pull the flag. Just a simple pull.
He was running out of bounds anyway.
Yeah.
I think if he was going downfield and that shove occurred, it might not have been called. But like he essentially, as we see on the replay, is giving himself up as he works away to the sideline and gets shoved unnecessarily.
He would have felt differently if he was running forward. He would have felt differently too.
Correct. Alex Finkelstein getting ready to snap the ball to Evan Frank on the first down after the penalty. Evan Frank looks to his left. He pumps. He throws to his left. The ball was cut down short by the defender on the left sideline.
That was a very dangerous throw. I mean, CFAX was all over the receiver on that play, and he almost came down with it. That's the thing with CFAX. His hands aren't as great as he wishes they were, but he's a very good coverage defender, and he always bats them down.
Simon CFAX said the wrong guy to go to on an ISO route.
Yeah, he's the sort of player that's very, very aggressive on these double moves, and he doesn't get burnt often on these comeback routes, and this has been his bread and butter all season. This is why Logang's offense is very good, is when you're running these comeback routes against him, he finds a way to jump in perfectly and makes you regret going on these plays that you expect to be open.
Cano about to motion, but then lines up tight with Rosenberger. Evan Frank gets the ball, he pumps, goes upfield, and once again the Logang defense collapses. They're not going to let him run. That's one thing they've declared. They'll maybe risk some throws over their heads, but Glow Gang will not permit Evan Frank to scramble for yards.
Nah, they know that Evan Frank likes using his feet, and that's a huge part of his game. And if they could take away that part of the game and just have him throw, it's going to be tough for Evan Frank to adjust.
The rush is closing in faster and faster on Evan Frank. He's getting closer every single play. I wouldn't be surprised to see a sack in the next few offensive plays.
Maybe some quick deliveries for the next 2-3 plays just to maybe slow the rusher down a little bit.
Change your pace as you snap the ball. Change the count for you to sort of catch
Silent
him.
count too.
Catch him off guard. You need to do something about the rusher because he's closing in.
This time they will line up with trips to the left. Cano moving to the left-hand side. The ball snapped to Frank. Frank delivers ball over the top. Well-placed ball that was just not brought in there by Kyle Pedvis.
It's crazy to see that ball. As soon as he released it, I thought it was a discard to nobody, and then you saw that the receiver managed to get there last minute. It's a lot of chemistry between these guys. It's something that works really well in these divisions, and Evan Frank is playing well. There's no knocks on him.
We talked about Arnold Desjardins coming into the game and how good he is, but Evan Frank has 44 touchdowns and only 5 interceptions this season. Monstrous season. And quarterback of the year, Evan Frank. Evan Frank now with a balanced formation gets the ball. He looks to move, but then delivers a dangerous ball into traffic. Ball not quite brought in by Jacques Bachot.
Yeah, that was. I'm pretty sure Evan Frank would have loved to have taken that throw back. He probably he felt the pressure from the rusher, and he's like, I gotta get rid of it before I take a loss of yardage, and that was very dangerous. It almost turned into an interception.
Glow Gang are gonna have to come down with these interceptions. It's PDs that are not going their way. I understand that was a 4th down and it worked in their favor, but momentum-wise, getting that interception is big.
Yeah, in the end, an interception would have been way worse than a sack there, but either way, no harm, no foul. It is 1st down for Glow Gang. We'll see if the U can't stop them on defense. Aaron Rosenberger breaking on Arnold Desjardins as he has all game. Arnold Desjardins throwing a perfect deep ball downfield to Olivier Seri, and that's a touchdown, Olivier Seri. Touchdown on a deep post over the top.
That's like second nature for these guys. That's the play that happened against One Speed Power 3 times. That was basically his 3 touchdowns were deep balls that you just basket. It was as if it was perfectly thrown for only him to get it. It was ridiculous.
So what's their first nature? That's second nature.
First nature is Arnold Desjardins just finding all receivers, and let's see. He has a distance, right? His velocity on his throws are incredible.
I would have thought it was walnuts.
I would say surviving.
Correct.
Surviving.
Also
Being
better
alive.
than walnuts. Better than whatever you said.
Being alive.
On the converts, Desjardins throws to Surrey once again. Some contact, but both guys just playing the ball. And now it's a 13-7 lead for Glow Gang.
Arnaud Desjardins doesn't seem like he needed to warm up. Neither did Olivier Seri. They showed up a little bit late. They've had a huge impact ever since. As long as Arnaud Desjardins is able to place these balls so well on these deep throws, there's only so much that you can defend. And if they try to defend those plays by getting an extra 4 or 5 yards deeper as safeties, you're going to get burnt underneath.
Yeah, perhaps more Jean-Claude Van Damme in a deep impact on the game.
Nice. I thought you were going to do something about splits.
I mean, don't we all? Finkelstein getting ready on 1st down to snap the ball to Frank. Evan Frank moving the ball well, just unable to convert the last drive. Ball snapped. He looks to his right and he pumps. He's trying to go downfield to Pedvis. That I don't think is a good recipe, testing Olivier Seri deep with a much slower U offense.
There's a flag on the play. Unsure of the penalty call, but it looked like a formation.
To me, that could have been
Offensive.
potentially offensive PI,
PI,
as
yeah.
the DB had the positioning on the ball and the receiver crashed into his back to sort of get him off his rhythm. I think it was unintentional. Both guys were playing the ball and he just lost his step. But I wouldn't be too surprised to see it called against the offense.
Well, it seems like it was a 5-yard penalty against the defense. I'm not.
And it may have been contacting, maybe earlier in the route, contacting or a hold, perhaps.
Could have been contact or 5 yards penalties that give him 1st downs.
They didn't get a 1st down though.
Yes, because it was first. So either way, it's repeated or given.
Repeated 5 yards.
Yeah. So Evan Frank now on 1st and 10 gets the ball, delivers over the middle. On 1st and 5. And it is complete to Alex Finkelstein, and he had another flag. This is the most penalties we've seen in all the championship games so far this season.
That's on the offense.
That's on the offense. Joe Cano ran the DB over. He just stepped into him, hit him clean. It wasn't a dirty play. The DB just fell down because Joe Cano was a bigger dude. And now the penalty's on the offense, and Joe Cano can't believe it.
Yeah, it's the defender Marin Conoyer on that play.
No, he ran over Cassed. No, he ran over Youssef. He ran over Youssef on that play. He ran over Youssef on that play.
Does that look like a UR? With Joe Cano stepping out of the field, is that a 5 play?
If that's a UR, I'd be surprised.
That-
As we're seeing the play now.
I believe it is. I believe they called it a UR. Joe Cano's on the sidelines right now.
Yards wise, that's a 10-yard penalty, and Joe Cano's on the sideline, out potentially for 5 plays. That looks like a UR to me.
And Joe Cano has been the big play receiver on this offense. 27 catches, 432 yards during the season. So he actually led the team on yards per catch.
This is the sort of play that the referees decided to call early in this game to sort of set the tone.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody wants to see a game get too physical, mostly in the finals. This is the sort of penalty that you need to call early to set a tone. Tell guys, listen, you cannot hit each other like that. You need to understand this is flag football. We had one on the sidelines earlier against Evan Frank, who was shoved out of bounds a bit too roughly. I think the referees did the right thing here.
And we'll see how that impacts Kyle Pedvis. Not a guy known for his arm strength, so we'll see how he digs himself out of this hole. First and a long few yards now. Ball is snapped and delivered over the middle once again to Finkelstein. There's something they like over there. They keep going to Finkelstein on these types of situations.
Well, that's a smart play when you got to get some yardage back, right? Give it to your snapper. They always trusty snapper. Get some of that yardage from the penalty back to make their conversion of the first down shorter than it was before.
What was initially 1st and 5 turned to 1st and 15, which isn't always easy, but now you're looking at second and 8, 2nd and 9. It's a very favorable position to be in, all things considered.
Yeah, in a 4-down game, such as FPF, that's a very makeable position to be in. Evan Frank now with all of his playbook to his disposal. Outside technique played by Glow Gang's defense. On a double snap count, gets them to jump. Offside momentarily, but the play continues. Ball thrown over the middle. And it is caught for a first down, gentlemen. It was not offside because he did reset his feet, but it did buy Evan Frank enough time to gain the first down.
It did. It really did.
What looked like what could have potentially be a sack turned into a first down.
Russell Schwartz making the play on that one. A guy who's known to have meaningful contributions in big games. We see it there.
Yeah, that's that obviously helped a lot. Like they went for the short yardage play again, got them the first down, new set of downs. Now they're good to go. It looked like an unfavorable position, but now they're back in
Russell
driving.
Schwartz making contributions on both sides of the field. He actually had an interception and 3 PDs in the last game. But now on first down, Evan Frank looks to his left, he pumps, then delivers. Russell Schwartz again, gaining yards just shy of the first down, I believe.
Both teams are looking like they're chirping each other a little bit. It looks clean to me. Like you're allowed to chirp, trash talk a little bit as long as
a little
it
bit of a
stays.
stare down though at the end of that play.
But as long as it stays within boundaries of reasonable.
If it's like somewhat friendly and not like very threatening or some, people like getting under some skin, and that usually, if your psyche's all out of whack, I mean, it's tough to bounce back most of the time.
I mean, pretty much everybody likes to get under skins, right?
I mean, are you wearing the skin? That's kind of creepy.
That is kind of creepy.
I mean,
not everyone likes that.
Or
Simone Diagen's views are not the views of Flag Plus Football. They are his and his alone. It is 2nd and 1 yard. Trips to the left of Evan Frank. The U offense marching. He pumps. He looks to roll out. He throws that deep corner once again. And once again, unable to connect. Still 13-7 favor Glow Gang. 2 minutes about to hit the clock with Glow Gang taking the lead late in the first half.
You see, usually Evan Frank would go for the first down on that play. He was going for the end zone when the play wasn't really there. Number 8, Finkelstein? No.
Alex Finkelstein?
Alex Finkelstein, he was open. He was there. He had room to run. He tried to, for Evan Frank, he's very safe with the ball most of the time, but that was a bit of an unnecessary risk, let's say, but it didn't hurt him, so I guess it's okay.
When you got the rusher beat that way, you're able to take one of these shots where it's zero severe or nobody. It's second down. It's a good time to take those kind of shots.
Second and short's the best down to take a long shot. As we all learned from the several Madden games that have come out in history. Evan Frank going out left. The defense closes on him again. Stefax Cassed with the tackle in space.
Yeah, that was a great tackle. If he didn't make that tackle, he would have probably found his way into the end zone, Evan Frank. So that's a touchdown saving tackle right there.
Evan Frank's showing how fast as a player he is. He keeps beating the rusher to either side or
and the flat
runs.
defender as well, who's closing in.
Yes, there's Glow Gang gonna have to figure out something against that mobility from Evan Frank because he's breaking plays open at this point.
It's now first and goal for the U. Everything working in their favor as well as it could. It is 13-7, but now under a minute left, it looks like they're going to be able to control the pace till the end of the first half. Unless, guys, they score too early, that might favor the high-flying attack of Glowgang. Quads to the left of Evan Frank. He gets the ball snapped. He throws to Finkelstein in the middle. Some contact up in there, but that's what the big boy's for.
The U needs to score regardless how fast they do it. At this point, considering they haven't scored on their second drive, this is only the third drive of the game for the U offense. They need to score any way they can because they can't go down an extra possession, right? And they started on offense, so the Glowgang is actually starting on offense in the second half. If they get, let's say, 5 plays before half and Arnaud Desjardins is able to score, we could see a 2-score lead before Evan Frank gets the ball in his hands again.
Much like the onset of puberty, it's just about scoring.
Yes.
No matter how you get done or how quickly.
That's irrelevant.
Balance formation by Evan Frank. Second and goal. He gets the ball. He runs towards the line of scrimmage. Throws to the front of the end zone. Once again to Kyle Pedvis. Guys, a little bit of nerves perhaps from the U.
Yeah, Evan Frank looks a bit rattled after that. He usually hits that play. He may have felt the rush of the rusher a bit too much, and it just messed him up, and it just ruined his rhythm, and he overthrew his very open receiver.
It felt a bit rattled, but then the outcome's positive. If they're able to score regardless, they're just killing more plays to give less to Arnaud Desjardins.
Officially 6 plays left in the half. The U lining up on third down.
As long as they score within the next 2 plays, it's perfect.
Evan Frank receives the ball. He looks to his left. Now delivers over the middle. Dangerous pass in traffic. It was batted around by everyone, just pinballing around, and Aaron Rosenberger unable to bring it in.
Yeah, that was a very dangerous throw. I mean, like throwing off your back foot into the middle of the end zone where all the bodies are, more or less. He was just throwing it out there and hoping for the best. And he's got a couple yards left to go, and maybe this is his last play. No, before it's fourth down.
Fourth and goal. 1 yard to go. Simon, what do you do?
Evan Frank had his receivers open, but he's very, very imprecise in his last drive. I think he has to go back to his money play where he scrambles to one side and hits one of the guys that are following with him. He's going to have to do something here.
5 plays left in the game. Ball snapped, pumped. Evan Frank moving to his right, throws it in the middle. The ball juggled by the Glowgang defender once again. Jacques Bachour, not a guy I talked about a bunch, but a very good defensive player, and he makes a huge defensive play.
Like I said earlier, these guys are more of a defensive team, but there's a flag on the play now. Is that an objectionable conduct for the last 5 plays? Yeah, I believe so.
That's Olivier Suri getting an objectionable conduct penalty.
Jacques Bachour got back-to-back PDs on 4th downs. What could have been interceptions actually ended up being drops. Still PDs on 4th downs that turned the ball over for his team. Same player making 2 big plays.
Yeah, Jacques Bachour is a very low-key. He flies under the radar of this high-powered offense, but they have a vertical offense. So even though they're backed up to their 1, Arnaud could get it down the field relatively easily.
4 plays. Perez sets to snap the ball to Arnaud Desjardins, who has a final word to say to him before the down begins. Joe Cano deep in the middle of the field for the defense. Ball snap. Rosenberger closing in. He jumps up, but still a catch by Francisco Perez. A short gain, but it gets them out of the side of the end zone with 3 downs.
Yeah, it's just giving himself a bit more room to work with. You don't want to be backed up to your goal line because all you got to do is take a step back if the rush is up to you, and then it's considered a safety. So that was more of a gaining yardage to make it a little less pressure.
Let's not forget they're up by 6 points and they start with the ball in second half. So they're essentially up 2 possessions at this point. Even if they don't score on this drive, as long as they don't allow points from the U before the half, they're still in very good shape.
Now on 2nd and about 9, or rather about 6. Ball snap to Desjardins. Desjardins looks to his left, delivers the ball over the middle. Francisco Perez catches the ball in traffic, and he is deflagged right around the first down marker by Mickey Schwartz.
I guess Arnaud's just getting a bit more room to work with, and then he's probably going to wait until the last play to air it out into the opposition's end zone.
So with 2 plays, Simon, do you take 2 shots?
This is the last play.
Sorry, this is the last play. My mistake. So he's going to take a shot here no matter what.
Yeah, you take a shot no matter what. But if it turns out to be an interception, you're not giving the ball back to Evan Frank, right?
Yeah.
You're calling the half. So he's going to take a shot guaranteed because there's no other option here.
But probably best case scenario given everything for the U. Now, Arnaud Desjardins moving to his left, throwing across his body. Dangerous throw. It is knocked down in traffic by Russell Schwartz.
Yeah, that was a tough throw to make. He was running one way, he was throwing against his own body, and
this is the worst outcome. Contact on the
Ooh.
passer. They're moving up 10 yards and they're getting a free play.
You got to know the quarterbacks are baiting that, right? So as a rusher, you need to slow down. You actually want the throw. You want the quarterback to throw the ball. You just need to be there to pressure it.
Even
and
if that ball
we're
is
seeing it here
caught.
on the replay. In fact, he did not contact the arm, it appears, at all.
I think it's when
Oh, maybe a little bit. Yeah,
right there. Right,
just
as
a high five
Yeah.
as the ball came
You
out.
give him a high five. High fives are illegal on the quarterback.
Or when maybe after play as he came down. But anyways, if
Also
you're
considered uncool since 1986.
That's also very true. Now it's all
Really?
about fist taps, I guess.
Really?
I don't
I'm
make
still a
the
high
rules.
five guy.
I just enforce them. Arnold Desjardins now again on repeated last play. He moves to his right, throwing a dart over the middle. It is intercepted by Joe Cano, who will likely not make it to the end zone. But still, he's doing everything he can, folks. He saw a bit of daylight, took it downfield, tried to make a play. Either way, the U, considering things really did not go their way in the first half, it's just 13-7 going into halftime. Steph, your thoughts?
Yeah, this is definitely a favorable position considering that they're facing a high-powered offense, and they were just able to concede two scores for Glogang. So going into the second half, they have the big first drive. If they make a stop there, they're probably in like the most perfect position that they could ask for. Without being in the lead.
Arnaud was weirdly lazy on that interception. If Joe Cano gets away from that tackle, he's too far away. He didn't even move, make a step. If his player misses the tackle, it's a pick six.
Probably doubt the big man would make it down there, actually.
Well, I mean, you at least move.
Joe Cano is
towards
quicker
him.
than he appears, though.
I witnessed a pick six from Joe Cano, so he could do it. It's a very
He was
possible.
almost there.
He was almost there.
Yeah,
He's
one
about
guy to
10
beat.
yards away.
Yeah.
About 10 yards away.
So
He's pretty quick for a big man. Pretty quick for a
it's
big
weird,
man.
It's weird laziness from a guy that could have made a play easily on it. I think there could be something wrong with Arnold Desjardins' arm, is he hasn't taken a shot deep in the last 4 plays. He was discarding underneath. We know he has the arm to just put him back at the end zone, and he hasn't tried it yet.
Speculation by Simon Dagenet. Simon, we saw Olivier Suri not being able to play the last 5 plays of the second half. Did that affect them not having his speed and not feeling comfortable to stretch the field without him there?
I would say most likely we saw that the first 2 plays he had both wide receivers go on flyers, run the 40 bomb, and the DBs were next to him hip to hip, so the play was not there for them. And they hit underneath on sorts of discards to just get the yardage. But the play he was looking for was just not accessible because they didn't have that burner speed.
The Oliver Suri, they already connected on a 40-yard TD, so maybe if he was out there for those last 5 plays, it would have been a different outcome for Glogang.
Yeah, definitely a weapon. And Simon, he did take a shot at the back of the end zone. We saw that on that deep post to Olivier Suri for that 40-yard touchdown. So, yeah, to your point, he hasn't done it as often as we've seen, but we know he can still get it there because we've seen it happen in this game.
Oh, for sure. It's not disability that I'm questioning, but if there was one play where you released and you felt wrong, you could also be sore from playing football earlier, and the downtime between the two does affect you at some point. I'm curious to see if he's going to come back firing with his first play on the second drive.
Stefano, you witnessed a lot of the Glogang games this season. You said they were lackadaisical. Did the close wins over Bruins 30-24 and one speed power where they won by 8 points? Did that help the Glogang get into shape for this championship final?
It obviously helped them work with what is already their strength, which is their offense, because they are very capable of putting up many points. That's why I'm surprised it's only at 13. Maybe, like Simon said, Arnaud is a bit tired from the long day that he had, but he's gotta shake that off, and it's not easy. But he's got to do what he's got to do. He's got to go back to what worked with him in the elimination games that they've won, and they'll be in a better position. As
long as Glogan score on this opening drive, they get a 2-score lead. And then it's going to come down to the offense, not their defense anymore, to make plays. And this is what Glogang, like you said, it's their bread and butter.
I think this might be the opportunity Arnold Desjardins is looking for to take a deep shot. He scans quickly. Instead, he throws the quick hook to the outside. Same play that they meant to start the game. Elliot Lambert making a safe catch and advancing towards the half-field mark.
Elliot Lambert is a receiver that Arnaud really enjoys throwing to midfield. He can also be a deep threat, but he's more of a 15-yard gain type of receiver. He's always in the medium routes are his strength, and I see Oliver Suri is still on the bench, so he might not come back.
Well, that was the last of the
that
five
was the
plays.
last of the 5 plays.
But they might not want to bring him in mid-drive. Arnold Desjardins pumps, looks to be a hook and goal. It's not there. Aaron Rosenberger closes down. Aaron Rosenberger, guy, he had 8 sacks, a little bit pedestrian during the regular season. It's a fine season, but having a huge impact in this game. Three sacks already.
He was looking for that stop and go. But I think the receiver just bailed on the route. You saw the receiver just didn't turn up fast enough, and the route wasn't there. So maybe he expected with the DB playing further away that the audible was to not run it entirely. Maybe some miscommunication.
Just sitting that hook a little too long.
But it's a smart decision to take the sack
Like
on first down.
And go.
It's a smart decision to take the sack on first down instead of throwing a risky ball.
Now the ball snapped once again to Arnaud Desjardins. Delivers a strike. It is caught in space by Timothée Pichette.
Yeah, that's a very good play to get some yards. Move up. Oliver Sudi came back on the field now, so maybe he's gonna have an impact on the rest of this drive. But I'm not just pointing him out, but they have some offensive threats, no matter who it may be.
It is now first down as Francisco Perez sets to snap the ball. He does, delivers it to Desjardins, who steps back, delivers over the middle, and Perez once again who loses his flag. He is touched. He is down after about a 8-yard gain.
I thought the ball was going to go a little bit higher to one of the deeper crossing routes that were open behind Perez, but he has such a big presence on the field that as long as he jumps, he's gonna get put his hand on it.
I couldn't agree more, Simon. He's he's reliable, compact body. As long as Arnaud Desjardins throws it in the clock, so to speak, Perez will make the catch.
Nice.
Yeah, Perez is a very good option for Arnaud when going against tough.
And he weirdly jogs in place as he sets the ball to snap. Arnaud Desjardins, one last scan of the field. He looks to deliver the out to Olivier Siri, who gets both feet in bounds. Immaculate catch on the sideline.
There was a beautiful out route ran by Olivier Siri. The ball placement was flawless. This looked like a Division 1 play.
Yeah, it was uncoverable.
The DB Strelling is right there, but the ball placement's perfect. The route was flawless, and the release time was great. The DB played it really well. You saw it on the replay. The DB played really well, but that was a crazy play.
Now in the red zone, the U defense slightly derailed. Desjardins goes right, goes left. Aaron Rosenberger misses the flag for it, which seems to be the first time this game. Pedvis closing in. Olivier Suri unable to catch a wide open hook at the front of the end zone.
That was a bit overthrown, but Oliver Suri is kicking himself right now. He knows he can make that catch. He's that guy that there's Arnaud doing his thing, running around, making him rush or miss and stuff. So maybe he shook off that bit of fatigue that he showed at the beginning, and he's back into the groove right now.
Francisco Perez would have made that because that was in the clock. It's 12 o'clock right there.
Olivier Siri was just lazy on that. You saw it. He went up. He thought he had it, looked down at his feet, and just dropped the ball, and he's frustrated with
And
himself.
he was standing already. He didn't need to make sure his feet was in. His feet were in because he was standing at the cone. Ball snapped on second down. Delivered to Suri. Suri juggles it, but this time keeps it. And it's going to be at the 1 yard line for third down for Gauguin.
Maybe the fact that he missed that previous catch is messing with him a bit. You see, that's a relatively easy catch. It was in the basket right there. He bobbled it a bit. That's not usually what he does. Maybe he's a bit rattled because he's mad at himself right now.
He got lucky bubbling to himself. If he would have bubbled it outwards instead of inwards, that could have been a pick.
And potentially pick six down the sideline.
Yes. Also,
he's covered there by Kyle Pedvis. Pedvis, we know, can get down there.
Pedvis is faster than he looks.
Correct.
And he looks fast.
I was gonna say he looks like all right.
I mean, he looks in great shape.
Yes, but not
he was
like,
oh, not physically gifted.
Not like a sprinter.
He has more of like a swimmer's physique, you know. He's just like thin, you know.
But not like a fast swimmer.
Not a fast swimmer. Not like a Michael Phelps. More like pretty much a lifeguard.
Some Baywatch on Kyle Pedvis.
Yeah, some Baywatch. Maybe not the muscular Hollywood type because it's a bit overplayed.
80s Baywatch, like Hasselhoff in his day.
That's still a bit much.
Not The Rock.
Yeah. Not The Rock. Not Zac Efron either. Maybe Hasselhoff. I don't know who else. I don't know who else was there.
I saw it recently too, and I don't remember. It's all Efron.
I'm talking the old Baywatch. I don't know. I have no idea. I just know it's Hasselhoff and Pamela Anderson.
Correct.
That's all you need.
That's all you need to know.
Yasmin Bleeth.
Oh, Yasmin Bleeth.
No one's mentioned her name for 25 years.
That's because I'm pretty sure she hasn't done anything in 25 years.
That's why no one's mentioned her name.
She probably did things.
Well, maybe it's things that are not very popular.
Like, go to the grocery store. Get food for your family. Important,
but not
own a dog,
mainstream.
walk the dog, things like that.
Clean up after the dog. Maybe not, depending. Maybe she has a dog sitter.
Now, again, just inside the 1 yard line, Arnaud Desjardins looks, delivers a strike. Olivier Suri catches it, no bobble, both feet in bounds. It's a touchdown, Olivier Suri.
There's a beautiful look off by Arnaud Desjardins. Everybody was expecting it to go to Perez right in the front of the end zone. 3 guys shot that pattern exactly, and as soon as he looked off, he saw Olivier Suri in the back. There was a really good ball placement, and the defense was shocked.
Surprised to see the the lack of discipline by the U in that situation, Stefano?
Yeah, they shouldn't have predicted the play before it actually happened. Sure, that's the play that he goes to most often, but you can't forget the other guys on the field. They can all make plays.
Well, you don't need 3 guys on 1 guy, right?
Arnold Desjardins on the convert, gets a snap to the left. He looks over the middle, delivers the ball in traffic. Joe Cano knocking it out of bounds. So you're saying Yasmin Bleeth is a dog person? I thought like one exotic bird.
Oh, interesting.
Like a parrot?
Maybe she has a lizard.
The parrot's not exotic enough.
It's somewhat exotic. It's very colorful. Exotic
Dude,
birds
they
are
used to
usually
be
colorful.
dinosaurs.
But then so did everything.
Not everything.
Well,
Basically turtles and birds. Why were we so scared of them? It's first down for Evan Frank. The U down. Kyle Pedvis making a catch. Almost broke free, but they flag quickly by Jacques Bachor.
somebody needs to update the scoreboard. It's actually 19-7.
It's on our scoreboard.
It's on our
broadcast,
scoreboard,
so
yeah.
But
There's no way the crowd
I
would
just
know
told
that.
the fellow person here, Leo, that he's got to adjust the score.
Anywho,
The viewing audience would never have known.
with a 12-point, well, depends.
Well,
how
maybe if they see it on
Now
the
they
screen,
know.
it's right there.
with a 12-point lead, this is a hurry up time for the U.
Second and short for him. Frankie pumps left, goes back to his right, delivers. Joe Cano making again the clutch catch. He's the guy that Evan Frank looks to in these kind of situations where he needs to get the ball going.
That looks like a very awkward throw from Evan Frank. It's as if
All
he
of
was
them look
leaning.
awkward.
He was like leaning to his right and throwing with his left. But yeah, Joe Cano is his go-to guy. He's like the tight end, you know.
It's the
When it's like the big man that's open, that gets that yardage that they need. It's basically what it is. That's him and Joe Cano. That's what the connection they have.
it's the fact that he's being left-handed. He's rolling against his body by going right side.
That's true. That's
Evan
true.
Frank sets. He cocks it in his left hand. He pumps once again, looks to run. Defense closing in, missing a flag, but it is cleaned up quickly by Thomas Guerrier.
Glogang has only allowed 7 points in this game so far, but their defense looks sloppy.
Mm-hmm.
They're missing tackles. They're dropping interceptions.
And a little overly aggressive. I'm surprised to see Evan Frank not taking advantage of that, looking to pump and then attacking in the intermediate
I
area.
think this could be something we're looking forward in the next few plays where he's going to look to run, plant, and hit over top.
Yeah, that might be a very good way of going
It
about
might be that
They are
corner again to
pressing.
Kyle Pedvis. Have you seen him throw it twice? Now in the balanced formation, Evan Frank receives the ball. He pumps, looking to the fly, not the corner. Kyle Pedvis almost catching it on the deflection by Sifax Kassed.
Like CFAX is a very good cover corner. I mean, I wouldn't pick at him in this close to the end zone, right? Maybe he has speed, but there's not much room to work with speed at this point. So maybe he's got to switch his vision and switch up the side of the field he's looking at.
This time he had Kyle Pedvis Simo attacking the front of the end zone on that corner. Maybe that was the opportunity to take a shot to him.
To me, when you're looking at it, both corners are very difficult to attack against. Like you just mentioned, Safakis, but on the other side, you have Elvis Suri, who's having a monster game so far.
That's true.
It's instead of if you need to attack the sidelines, you can't really pick a
Got to
tougher
tackle the
matchup.
middle.
Evan Frank getting the ball, delivering over the top to Joe Cano. Joe Cano catching it in traffic. Guys, that's what he does. The tight end, like you said, Joe Cano, 0-0 TD.
Like I just said, because their corners are so strong, they have to target the middle. And Joe Cano in traffic, he's a big body. It's hard to get around him. Smaller DBs on him, but he has the height on most of the players. And that was a spectacular catch, actually. It was a bit far, but he made it work.
We're seeing that on the replay now, holding
He
in
caught it.
and
He caught
fighting through the contact. Is there a guy who likes contact more than Joe Cano on this field?
Right now, I don't think so.
Ball thrown to the back of the end zone. No one's there. Guys, to your point, Olivier Suri, 6 interceptions on the season. Sifax Kassed, 3 interceptions. That's a good tandem on defense.
See, the problem with CFAX is his hands aren't that great, and he knows it. That's why most of those interceptions he could have had turned into PDs because they were dropped, unfortunately for him, but he knows it. But it doesn't stop him from getting into the space and stopping the receiver from beating him.
I think the reason those numbers are not bigger than they are is because guys realize how good they are and they just don't throw their way.
It's like
Right.
the Richard
It's part
Sherman
of that
vibe.
It's the Olivier Suri Island, per se.
too. Surrey Island sounds exotic.
I know.
There's some exotic birds there.
Sounds like it's next to Turks and Caicos.
There's not just parrots.
Yasmin Bleeth goes there.
Yasmin
looking for
Bleeth,
birds.
she probably has like a beach house there, you know.
Bay-
She's got lizards and iguanas and stuff in her backyard.
watching over a bay, so to speak.
Watching over the bay because, like, yeah, exactly.
Ball snapped to Arnold Desjardins, looking to attack deep to Olivier Suri. He's turning, he's backpedaling, still no one in coverage. It's a touchdown, his second deep touchdown of the game to Olivier Suri, his third of the game total.
Both safeties continue to play deeper and deeper every single time, and they just cannot cover Olivier Suri. He's fast, and he keeps getting right by that safety. Joe Cano's frustration was clearly visible there. The two safeties get burned on the last 5-7 yards. It's very difficult to play. They're going to have to play with an even bigger cushion. It's a scary thought.
And especially when you're playing down now 25-13, you don't want to give up easy passes. But like on that play, it wasn't even a particularly well-thrown ball. It was underthrown for Olivier Suri.
He had to backpedal, make the catch in the basket, or else it was bad. It was actually not a great throw, but he made the play, and that's what works for them, so they're continuing.
Moonwalking his way in. Now on the convert, Desjardins looking, scanning, delivering, but it is knocked down by Kyle Pedvis. Good defensive play, but Elliot Lambert looking for a flag. But that's it. That's when you're a group of villainous individuals such as Glow Gang.
Villain.
I told you, I'm all about the U in this game.
True.
I'm not happy that the score is the way it is. I'm looking for a disqualification for Glow Gang.
There was a very good play by Kyle Pedvis to jump in and pat that ball down. Very good defensive play by a guy we haven't really talked about recently, aside from his swimmer looks. That's how we got the Baywatch, by the way. About Kyle Pedvis.
Now, Yasmin Bleeth is a permanent installment in this
Yasmin
broadcast.
Bleeth, FPF Hall of Fame.
Definitely. First ballot. Now Finkelstein sets. Looks to deliver the ball to Evan Frank. Evan Frank scanning. Looking immediately to his left. Kyle Pedvis using those swimmer-like moves to gain 6 yards.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's his second catch of the game or so. I don't think he's had much of an impact.
Probably a bit more than that, but
he's been targeted often.
He's been targeted often, but it's been overthrown. It's been well covered. He's a good target to get to, but he's got to make sure that Evan Frank's got to get the ball to him and make Kyle run up and make plays.
Kyle Pedvis, 32 catches, 14 touchdowns on the season. Now Evan Frank sets, receives the snap. He's looking deep downfield. Joe Cano open once again. He gets the catch. Guys, once again in coverage, that dude likes to get hit.
Joe Cano is not the fastest guy there is, right? Like, he's very athletic. He's faster than he looks, but he's not the fastest guy. So by the time he closes in on the ball, the DB's also closing on him, but he doesn't mind the contact. He knows he's the bigger dude, and if you hit him, you're going to bounce off.
That's absolutely true.
He'd probably beat me in a race, but I don't see myself racing him anytime soon because I'd probably get tired halfway.
I don't see you racing
at all, eh? Yeah. At all. Maybe in a video game like GTA, but that's about it.
It's a terrible benchmark to use yourself as a racer.
Yeah, you gotta. I'm gonna stick to commentary because racing is not the best thing.
Stick something like maybe you can erase better than that.
I could erase. Yes, all the mistakes that I've made with names over this season. You gotta erase it and write the proper name.
Alex Finkelstein gets ready to snap in the shadow of the end zone. Evan Frank on first down. He has quads to his right. He pauses. He delivers the ball over the top. It is caught. He's called out of bounds. Will we see a challenge on that one?
That was a tough call. It looked like, I feel like his toes were on that blue line, but that's a very tough decision. Jack, our official, he seems to be sticking to his pattern. Oh, see, look at that. That left foot, it looks like his toe is on the blue line.
He might have been bubbling that ball before.
Oh, yeah, that too, right? I'm just looking at his feet. I'm not looking at the ball position right now. See?
The honest problem with this call is this is our weakest angle for the cameras.
And but both feet look in.
No, look, it looks like the left toe is right on that blue line.
But he had the ball in his hands already.
It's a tough, I'm not sure. It's a tough call. It's a tough call.
So this is our weakest angle, and the referee was literally 2 yards away from him. I believe the call will stand just because.
It is being currently reviewed by head referee in chief Leo Gervais. Again, I know at the end of the play, both feet look out, but it does appear that before his foot touched the line, he did have the ball in his hands.
I'm not saying both feet. I'm saying one of his feet. Maybe like the tip of his shoe.
We'll see prior to that. I think Eagle will slow it down for us. And we're getting the exact look that the referee is going to look at right now. See, right now, both feet seem in.
That right foot's in. The left foot looks like it's right on that.
They're both in. Then they touch. I personally think that's a catch, but I'm also biased because I want you to win because the hell with Glow Gang.
That's a very tough call. Very tough call to make by our officiating crew.
It's a very tough call with not the greatest of angles. We have a good angle, but if we had the backhand, it would be better. It's tough to see whether there's green between the toes or not.
Yeah.
That's usually what they go to. If you see green between the cleats and the line, it's a fair call to make. Otherwise, I don't think there's enough evidence here to overturn this call.
Yeah, it may just be the call. It's not necessarily upheld, but it's not enough to overturn it.
It stands because we can't overturn it.
Correct.
Yeah, there's not enough evidence to prove that it was indeed a catch. But that was a tough call. But it was a great play, though. A great play. I mean, It took a lot of concentration. It's just maybe that half an inch, not even.
It does suck that we have so many good angles on so many different parts of the field. That's the one spot.
The one spot.
That
That's
we
like
really don't have a steady cam on.
But
It's like the blind spot right there.
Looking at how quickly the referee was to make the decision, I feel like he saw his foot on the blue line, and he knew before he caught the ball that he was
But
actually
don't forget,
out.
the referees on the field can't communicate to the referee in the box, so they can't necessarily explain the rationale as to why they called it
100%.
that way. So
Calls on the field.
it's incomplete.
Not incomplete. Not enough to overturn it for sure.
It looks to be as though he didn't demonstrate clear possession as he fell out of bounds. To your initial point, Simo. Again, I thought both feet were in, but again, if he didn't control the ball at that point, it won't be a complete pass.
Yeah.
Very good call then, buddy.
Evan Frank with quads on his right-hand side. Evan Frank looking to his left, tries to hit Finkelstein, looks instead over the top. Kyle Pedvis catches the ball, brings it in. It's a touchdown.
That's a touchdown.
That is not Kyle Pedvis.
Sorry.
Is it? No, it doesn't look like him. Anywho,
I don't think
It is actually Russell Schwartz. Sorry about that.
that was a great ball by Evan Frank just over the DB.
That was simply the only place that receiver could have made that play.
Yeah, the DB jumped for it, almost batted it down, and
He almost
barely
got
got a finger on it.
CFAX almost got that ball before it came down.
So now it is 25 to
19. More math.
with. Just give me a second to say the score. And 9 minutes left in the game. A little under 9 minutes left in the game, rather.
Did they call a timeout or are they challenging this? No, they're challenging. The defense is challenging the catch.
All right, we'll see now. Also, we don't have a view on the back line
Oh,
once
man.
again.
Actually, no, that's a pretty good angle. And
That looks like a clean catch.
that looks like a clean catch.
But it depends.
We don't
Is
have
he on the
black-
line, right? We
Yeah.
don't know.
Well,
We
again,
don't know the
from-
back line.
From the only angle that we have, we can only surmise that he was in, but we're going to try and compile it from the different looks, which we can do as well. Unfortunately, again, the back of the end zone and the right-hand side, that side of the end zone, some of the weaker spots on our broadcast.
It's honestly that corner in the back of the end zone is the weakness. Is the one that we don't have a great angle because we can't. The reality is we can't get a wire down there. Right? It's let's be honest. So the problem is that's the only line that we don't have a perfect clear-cut view. Whereas if it would have been the reverse, we would have a better view on this side.
Referee Craig O'Brien blocking us from this view.
Yeah, that's
because the camera was elevated, we might have been able to see it there.
yeah, that's true. But the Craig O'Brien just had to be right where
Yeah.
he was standing. Right, it couldn't just be like another foot, left or right. It had to be right where he's standing. But like the other play, there's probably not enough evidence to turn over the call.
Yeah,
the
so
field.
in this case, I believe it's gonna stand because we can't overturn.
Not enough to overturn.
Mind you, both plays, our referees were in the best position to make the call.
Mhm.
There was one on the right next to where the feet fell, and there was he was on the left, and he was also right next to the back line. So our officials have the best angles for us.
Also, looks like the same referees making both calls.
Yeah.
No, I believe it's no. I don't. Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, Jack has the
Jack
back
is back
line
in the
on
end
both
zone.
on both plays.
Okay.
Referee Jack Nudie.
Yeah, so referee Jack Nudie would have had the call on the back line, but it came down to Stephen Donald with the
Steve Donald made the call.
with the sideline catches too.
Yeah, he had to confirm that he saw the catch. Jack Nudie had to confirm that the ball was caught.
Confirm.
Ball snapped, not to Evan Frank. He delivers it over the top, and it's knocked down.
So the touchdown stands. That was a 1-point convert that was incomplete, unsuccessful.
Mhm.
Now the U are down by 6 points. Arnaud Desjardins gets the shot at going back after what feels like forever since he last played.
But that's what the U needs to do. They need to get the ball out of Arnaud Desjardins' hands, and they haven't been entirely efficient, but they have done that.
Now you cannot allow another 40 bomb.
Correct.
That would be an absolute devastating shock for the defense. I believe their safety is going to start off even further down to force them to march the field because it's not what they do best.
Do you think, would you change Joe Cano from the middle of the field there, Stefano?
I would, and just have him more play the middle of the field, but it seems like they're sticking with him as the deep guy.
They're lining up really deep. Ball thrown this time short to Suri. Suri makes the catch. First flag missed, and then picked up by Kyle Pedvis.
Beautiful catch by Visori. What could have been an interception. It was a bit off target. He managed to still get that ball, bring it in. A great catch on, well, let's say like is bailing a quarterback out for a not well,
Position pass.
cadre, yeah.
Now on second and short, we see the safety deep again. Perhaps Francisco Perez continues to pad his stats with the safety so deep. Instead, Arnaud Desjardins takes off, as he's apt to do. He gained over 200 yards rushing during the season, guys, and that's why. But we saw a flag thrown and awkwardly hit Olivier Suri in the side of the head.
It was the rusher that got hit side of the head as the flag was thrown for flag
mistake.
guarding. Arnaud Desjardins, as soon as he crossed the line of scrimmage, was flagged for flag guarding after getting the first down.
Yeah, there was no chance that he was not running on that. He wanted to run right off the bat, and he just probably got. Oh.
Yeah, we see it here.
What is
It's interference on the rusher, actually.
interference on the rusher? Okay.
Oh,
no, it's the marching back.
Yeah.
Yes, sorry, exactly.
The snapper was in.
Yeah, as Arnaud was rushing, the snapper would have had to move away from the rusher because the
Right.
rusher is a clear line to
Okay.
him.
Mm-hmm.
It's a very difficult thing to do when you don't know if your quarterback is moving or not.
That's
Yes,
true.
correct.
You don't
Unless
have
it was
eyes at the
design
back of
runner,
your
which
head.
should have been communicated. And now with the ball moved back on second down, thrown over the middle to the post. It is open once again. Ball was juggled, called incomplete. Not sure if it hit the ground or not, but it looked as though it might have been picked off for a second by Russell Schwartz.
What looked like a touchdown was dropped because due to the contact with Joe Cano was coming in, not in unintentional contact. The body just happened to be there. But if Joe doesn't make that play, it's a drop.
No,
That's a touchdown.
that was a
Did,
good.
did
That was
you
a good
guys see
call.
the ball touch the ground incidentally?
No, it did. It did.
Okay.
It did. It did, and it bounced right into the defender's hand. So that's why it was waved off right away. But that's C-Fax, right? His hands are not as great as he wishes they would be.
Stefax said, as we talked about, now the ball snapped. The ball delivered quickly again on that short hook to Olivier Suri. Looks to be just short of the first down. It is 4th and inches.
I mean, maybe they should cover him at some point. He's
Well,
been
they're
getting
very
a
worried about
lot
him
of
going deep,
targets.
so that seems to be the issue.
He's been getting a lot of targets in this game overall.
I feel like it's because they're unsure if he's going to go deep or if he's staying short. So they're not sure. They just have a guy that's just staying in his area, and just what it's worth.
And with the safety playing so deep, they're going to cheat, obviously, on Francisco Perez, who's otherwise open over the middle. Now, will Arnaud Desjardins take a shot over the top? The ball snapped. He looks over the middle. He does take a shot over the top. It is Olivier Suri again. This time it's dropped. Turnover on downs. The U still have a chance. 25-19 in favor of Glogang. 5 minutes left in the game. Stefano.
That was a huge difference in this game. Like Olivier Suri, you could see he's very mad at himself right now, and he really feels like he could have made that catch. It was a bit far, and he had to really speed up, but he knows that he should have had that.
In this situation, Arnaud expected Olivier Suri to be open, didn't read the play. Elliot Lambert on the sideline was completely forgotten.
For first down.
For everything, he had the touchdown. He was running hip to hip with him. If he would have put that ball at him, it would have been an easier throw to make and more likely a catch.
Perhaps too much touch on that ball as well, because he did have Suri open. He could just put it on the line. Instead, Evan Frank gets the ball. It is 1st and 10. Evan Frank gets the ball, looks to his left, delivers over the middle. Alex Finkelstein grabbing the ball in traffic. Guys, the big boys doing some damage for the U.
The Glogang are going to have to either step it up defensively to get a stop to put the pressure back on the U, or this is going to come down to Arnaud Desjardins' next drive to stick it up to the U, because now they're still comfortable with a 6-point lead. They're not down, but they lose the opportunity to go up 2 scores late in this game and put this game away before it came down to the last few plays.
Got to find a way to undercut the big man, and that's not an easy job, I'm telling you that much.
Evan Frank now setting up his offense back in basic formation, but tight receivers on the right. He looks over the middle, delivers in traffic. He had Finkelstein open. Instead, tries to throw the ball to Schwartz, and it gets knocked down.
Very good defensive play. The DB was between both receivers, and the ball was not perfectly placed, that the DB was able to just jump in between the two, make it back down.
Go ahead.
What could have been even more than just a PD. Right?
Yeah, definitely.
He could have probably pounced between both defenders, between both receivers, but he made the safer, just pat it down, make sure nobody catches the ball, and just move on to the next play.
With only 3 minutes left in this game, it's time against the U.
Not necessarily because they have the ball. If they score in this drive, it's not so bad that this takes time, but they'll need to stop Arnaud Desjardins no matter what happens. Evan Frank pumps. He runs to his left, makes it to the sideline. I don't know if he got the first on that one. We'll see how the referees mark it.
Yes,
It looks to be a first down.
If the problem is if this drive takes a little bit too much time and they only give Arnaud Desjardins 5 plays, for instance, then you're giving him the opportunity to seal this game with a touchdown, and you never get the ball back.
Correct.
They need to score fast enough to get an extra possession out of this remaining 2 minutes and a half of this game.
That's fair. I still think at some point they're going to have to stop Glogang's offense.
Also true.
So
well, they stopped them before, right? I mean,
if they score now,
yes,
get the convert, and they get the stop they actually need, it still works out to their favor.
There's also the situation where if you grind the clock enough and you give him 4 plays, for instance, but you do get the convert, you are up by a point, and you could win the game based on that.
Yeah,
And Glogang with no timeouts, remember. Quads to the left of Evan Frank. Evan Frank looks to his left, delivers to Joe Cano, catches it. He tiptoes, unable to keep the flag on as he keeps his feet in bounds. So it's going to be just short of the goal line.
Seems like they are just draining the clock, but sometimes it's not always the best way to go about it, especially considering Glogang, their offense is more vertical, and we've seen it. We've seen Arnold Desjardins hit those deep balls, so it's not like he needs much time to get down the field. He has this connection with his receivers that are always far down the field that he doesn't really need as much as other players would.
They're taking a little bit more time, but the used offense doesn't really blow the top over the defenses. He's not the quarterback that hits the back of the end zone. He hits the front of the end zone usually. These are sort of plays that have been working for them.
Evan Frank now bounce formation. He looks to move over to the left, throws to the back of the end zone. He had Alex Finkelstein open at the front of the end zone for a touchdown. Did not go to it. Made a more challenging throw. Great coverage there by Thomas Guerrier.
With only a minute left now, yes, they need to score. If they don't score, this game is essentially over. But if they do score, it's going to be an interesting decision to see what the Glogang is going to do with the remaining plays.
Correct.
Yeah, that also seemed to be a bit of a dangerous throw there. The DB undercut the receiver. It was a bit far from both the receiver and the DB, so nothing major, but that was a very dangerous throw.
I think he may look to Finkelstein again now at the front of the end zone just because of how open he was as soon as Evan Frank moved in the pocket a little bit and just sort of changed that throwing window. Evan Frank gets the ball. He looks to Finkelstein. It's in his gut. It's a touchdown. Gentlemen, we have a game.
Great call, Pease. Great call.
25-25.
Very interesting decision by the Glogang to put Arnold Desjardins rushing for that play. His size, how tall he is, could have been a factor to be able to block the ball. I think he wasn't able to close in fast enough on Evan Frank. The play was too quick for the rusher to actually make an impact.
I think that was the only reason they put Arnaud, is because of the height difference. All he has to do is put his arms up and block off most of the vision from Evan Frank. But Evan Frank snapped the ball. He had Finkelstein in the end zone and whipped it right into his gut, and it worked out for them, and they got that tight and touchdown.
Now 5 plays left, gentlemen, after this convert. It's 25-25. They're banking on their defense to stop Arnold Desjardins. Before that, however, they need to score in the convert. I don't think they want to go into a playoff shootout with Arnold Desjardins' Glogang offense.
This is going to be a huge convert, obviously. I'm saying the obvious here, but it's either way, if they get the point, Arnold Desjardins and his offense have the capability of getting down the field. So it's going to be an interesting end of the game, that's for sure. Considering
there's only 5 plays, if they do get the convert here, they put all the pressure on Arnold Desjardins to not crack and actually score, right? Because if he doesn't score, he loses the game. If he doesn't get this convert, the Glogang has absolutely no pressure because they know they're going into overtime if they don't score. Yeah, but Arnold Desjardins, he has been capable of playing under the pressure of certain tight games, so he's probably the best man to work with minimum plays. With 5 plays, that's more than enough for him to be successful. Considering 40 bombs are like nothing to him, yeah, it's more than enough to get down the field.
Are we getting to the point where like we can ask douche or no douche for 40 bomb as a term?
What?
It's there. It's close. Ball is snapped, delivered to Evan Frank. Evan Frank throws to the back of the end zone. It's far for Alex Finkelstein's got it. It's 26-25. The U take the lead late. Alex Finkelstein may have earned an MVP vote right there from me if they're able to hold on.
That was a beautiful catch on a batted ball. The DB put a hand on it, tried to drag it down, and he batted down into Alex Finkelstein. It's a difficult catch to make, and considering how close this game is, it's a key play.
Straight up snapper love right there.
The theme of the U's offense seems to be trust big man in big plays, and that seems to be working with them. Joe Cano. Now Finkelstein with probably the biggest conversion of their season for sure.
That goes well. Something we can all agree with as the fattest broadcast booth in the history of all time. Peace Delarice.
In the history of all time.
Stefano Berardi and Simon Dagenet. Maybe you should pay attention to what's going on in the broadcast, Simon.
The history of all time. There's never been a fatter broadcast.
I was doing a reset. You should pay attention. Ball snap, 5 plays left in the game. Arnold Desjardins trying to get it back all at once. Olivier Series open. Joe Cano trying to screen it. Guys, this is absolutely crazy. Glogang regaining the lead. Was that too quick?
That was a bit quick. Look at the excessive celebration penalty is now probably is going to give them better field positioning when they reply with their points after this.
So the game's not over.
No.
Right? The other team gets 4 plays now. You scored with 1 play, congratulations, it's great. You get the convert, you could really nail this. But then you give the other team 4 plays from half field because you just gave them 15 free yards on top of getting it at 10 yards. This is far from over.
It looks like Simon Dagenet, while winning one wager, has lost another. So we have now the U's being explained to them what they can do. I believe they can take this at the 20.
They could take it on their following possession or on the convert.
Which is the thing I'm explaining.
Sorry.
Pay attention to the broadcast, Simon Dagenet. Eagle Master Control yelling at teams on the field, very professional. Why let teams make a decision when you can guarantee them he's in?
They're arguing over a catch that Oliver Suri has made twice before. It's basically his 3 touchdowns on the game were exactly the same, and it's just, I don't know, there's not much of an argument. It's a tough call.
Didn't we all know that was going to be a bomb on the sideline?
Yes, that's what I said.
We all saw it happen.
Yes,
right?
that's why I said that plays don't matter for Arnold, because he doesn't take much for him to get down the field. Look, 1 play, boom, already up by 5.
I'm not referee in chief, but after looking at that replay, that's a touchdown. No need to challenge.
No, there's no need to challenge that play.
I was actually expecting a 40 bomb to someone not named Ali Yasuri because
they're
only covering one guy.
It's worked twice, so why not go for it again?
31-26. They're going for 2 in Glow Gang. Arnold Desjardins throwing to the front of the end zone. Picked off by Joe Cano. Huge play because if they get that convert, it's perhaps more difficult for the U to have a chance to win this game. But guys, don't forget that penalty huge. They now start on the 20-yard line. 31-26. 4 plays remaining in the game.
This was a very good design and pass by Arnold Desjardins, but the receiver stopped as he saw Joe Cano jump in front of him. Well, you're going to run into Joe Cano. I wouldn't want to do that to myself.
Correct.
So he stopped, which gave Joe Cano the free pick. There was a great defensive play by Joe Cano.
Joe Cano has a very intimidating look on him. Like, I wouldn't want to. I'm a big guy, and if me and him collided, the world would probably shake.
Also, I'm sure his beard smells really nice.
I'm pretty sure he takes a lot of good care of it.
Like coconut. Like coconut oil.
Coconut oil.
Yeah, I see that. That's the smell he seems to give off visually.
You don't think he's a lavender guy?
No, definitely not. I'm more of a lavender guy. He looks like a coconut
lavender
guy.
is very soothing. Like
yeah,
they have pillows that smell like lavender to put you to sleep.
Correct. Not like this game, however. This game's
this game is ridiculous. This is action packed from start to finish.
Like Die Hard. It's the Die Hard of FPF games. Evan Frank pumps, goes to his left. He's running, trying to get yards, trying to get close to the end zone. Guys, he now has 3 shots at the end zone from a part of the field he's very comfortable in.
Yeah, he's in a very good spot to get to take those 3 plays and try and get that winning touchdown.
So if they do score here, do you blame the team for excessive celebration? Did they give the game away because they scored?
So, but like, how excessive was that celebration?
I mean, the entire bench cleared.
I mean, but it's a big moment in the playoff game.
Yeah, but if it was the last play, okay. Now you got to say, guys, relax. The game's not over yet, you know?
What the receiver did was fine. But they cleared the bench.
Yeah, the whole guys, they took off sprinting. It's not like they were just happy. They took off sprinting. And
they were very happy.
They were very happy.
They were sprintingly happy.
Yeah, sprinting a lot more than I would in my life.
Evan Frank now with 3 chances to win this game. And Frank receives the snap. He steps up, throws in the air to Alex Finkelstein. The big man offense continues. He took a hit to the face. Flags fly. Guys, Evan Frank marching close to the end zone. But the bigger story perhaps, maybe Alex Finkelstein here getting hit in the eye. Will that affect them with just now 2 plays remaining in the game?
He got hit, but he also hit the guy too. Like it looked like both guys.
No, he got slapped though.
The guy was trying to slap the ball out of his hand, and it didn't work out.
It was a football play, but still, you got to control your body. It can't be the slapping in.
Still hurts also. I mean, even if it's a football play and there's no penalty, it still hurts to get slapped in the face.
Football hurts.
Football does hurt. But he seems to be okay. He shook it off a bit. Now he's just rearranging his flag, and he's going to get back up.
And his face.
Yeah, he probably, he rubbed it down a bit. It's fine.
Well, they need him.
They do.
He's been the most impactful player in these last 10, 15 offensive plays.
He's their red zone threat, him and Joe Cano. If one of them's out, then the other guy's going to be double covered. So it's going to be harder if you have both of them out there.
So do you stick here, Simon, to the big man offense, or do you take a shot now again to your star Kyle Pedvis?
You only have 2 plays. Right,
Yes.
with only 2 plays, if you take a shot on something risky, you leave it up to a receiver who could potentially have a drop. You're better off taking a shot here. Go to whatever works for you. If you give the other team 1 play, they shouldn't score.
What about a layered play where you have, for example, either Joe Cano on a slant in front of the end zone or Alex Finkelstein hooking in front of the end zone and then a deep hook in the back by Kyle Pedvis, making them choose because they may bite on the big man offense.
They probably will take advantage. They probably will bite on the big man offense because it's burnt them a couple times in this game, and they don't want that to happen again, or else it's game over for them. So we'll see. We'll see the strategy that Evan Frank is saying in the huddle right now. They're at the 1 yard line.
I believe Clogang should start moving their players around. I understand their corners is their best defensive player. Maybe they should start moving them on Joe Cano and Alex Finkelstein.
And then trips now with Joe Cano tight on the left-hand side. The 2 big men lined up next to each other. The rusher runs into their defender, and it's a touchdown to Joe Cano. The U reclaim the lead. Gentlemen, would you go for the convert here?
No, you don't. There's
There's no gain, right?
Because if you get picked 1 or 2, then the game's tied. Don't take the convert. Decline the convert and just play super tight defense.
Yeah, I would decline the convert because it's unnecessary. It's either you get it and you're up by 2 points, which doesn't make a difference, or you miss and then the other team with their speed could turn it and bite you. And it seems like they are making a decision, and I think they're declining it. No.
You get.
I'm hoping I say it loud
Yeah,
enough. They should decline. There we go.
They
declined it.
They declined the convert.
You're
They're
as
smart,
biased
smart.
as Eagle.
Smart decision. 32-31. Guys, you cannot let Desjardins attack deep. You cannot let it happen.
It's 1 play, so everybody's
it's
sitting
one-
in the
They
end zone.
should know.
It's 1 or 2 plays left.
I believe this is the last play.
Yes, last play. It is the last play of
Correct.
the game. We know that Arnaud Jardin has the arm to make it a perfect placed ball, but we also expect 4 guys to be in the end zone jumping for that.
Do you go 4 guys deep in double rush with Arnaud Desjardins' ability to run?
If he's able to buy time, his receiver's going to get there. With a 40-yard to run, the problem is rushers closing fast enough that by the time he has to release, receivers are not set to play jump balls.
Yeah, you need to like air it out and hope they get there.
They're going with 2 safeties. They got like a 2-2-2 going over here.
This is a bizarre strategy from the U.
Oh no, they're bringing They're bringing Cal Pettis in the
Cal
middle.
Pevis is
more or less.
slowly retreating. Arnaud Desjardins throwing to the middle of the field. It is juggled. It is dropped. It is a new Division E-1 champion. The U defeated the previously undefeated Glow Gang.
Have they? There's still a play left, I believe. Yeah,
thought it was
there's
last
1 play
play.
left.
Yeah, we were told last play.
We were told last play. Never mind. I take it back.
Yeah, there's 1 play
It's
left.
not last play. Now that
Now
play
there's
call
1
makes a
play
lot
left.
more sense.
Well, considering
Okay.
it wasn't last play, that was a very smart play.
Yes. I was very worried at first. I thought that was bizarre.
That's what I said. That was like
they're hoping to
2
get past 2 guys afterwards. I was confused.
Now it's last play.
Now it's still definitely the last play.
We
As
don't,
I get yelled at by Sean Avram,
to be fair, we
the
know nothing.
non-Hall of Famer, yelling at me from the bench.
To be fair, we know nothing.
We don't know what's going on with the referee, so
I blame production.
production is always to blame. You know, we're just here. Production is basically the go-to, the fall guy.
Now with 3 guys in the end zone. Cal Pedvis playing short. We may see him collapse on Arnold Desjardins. He will not. Evan Frank rushing this time.
Oh, fuck.
Ball thrown up deep. It is juggled. It is caught.
Intercepted.
But intercepted. The U do win. They are E1 champions. They defeated the previously undefeated Glow Gang. Guys, is this the shocker of the spring 2018 finals?
So, considering how the game went down, I would tend to agree with you that this is the shocker how the game actually happened. The U was trailing by 2 touchdowns for the second half. It felt like Logang had this lockdown. But if you look at the overall production, the overall season, Moncon at the U actually as their number 1 team. I had the U as the number 2. It's not so much of a shocker to see the number 2 team upset the number 1 team. It's not so much of an
Yeah,
upset.
because they're pretty.
But it was
it's
just
pretty
more the fact of
toughest.
how dominant Glow Gang looked at parts of the season, how good we know these players are. That while it was 1 versus 2, I think most of us on the gambling portion of the FPF webpage, I believe no one picked the U to win. Was there?
There's a few people who picked the U to
It
win,
may have been the spread.
but also for
Yeah.
the spread. I believe that the way this game played out, Glow Gang had control, and they made a few mental mistakes later in the game by not scoring, by allowing touchdowns on key drives, and the excessive celebration really hurt them on the last drive.
I was just about to say maybe that celebration was a bit premeditated and it cost them dearly in the end.
And the contact on Alex Finkelstein late in the game.
Well,
Brought it to the one.
the contact was unintentional, right?
For
He
sure,
was trying to
but
play the
it
ball.
still got them into the red.
Yeah,
Of
got
course.
them right at the one.
But
So.
let's say you can't take that away because the guy was playing the ball. But the excessive celebration was not something that happened in the flow of the game. These guys cleared the bench, ran on the field, took a what is called a dumb penalty that cost them 15 yards.
That's probably like the fact that they're young, right?
And now we go to the trophy presentation as President Commissioner Rob Campana is ready to deliver the
Thanks,
trophy to
guys.
the U.
I'm here with the U, who just won a tightly contested, very entertaining game against Glow Gang. Hell of a game, guys. Hell of a season. Congratulations to you guys. So I'll present the E-1 championship trophy to the captain of the team, Evan Frank. And last thing to present and hand out, voted upon by the media staff that was here today, the finals MVP is Joe Kano. Good job, Joe. Congratulations. All right, guys, you can grab some. Mo will hand out some t-shirts to you guys.
As
Joe,
previously said on a press conference,
being
the
filmed.
last time.
So, Joe, you played in championship game yesterday. Obviously, it didn't work out as planned. Talk to us a bit about this U team and the game you guys just played.
Oh my God. First of all, I love these fucking boys so much. I'm sorry for swearing. I'm so pumped right now. I'm so pumped. Everyone thought the undefeated team was going to come in here easy, win this game. We believed in ourselves. We went out there and we got it. We didn't give up on any play. We were down 2 touchdowns. We didn't give up. That's everyone, the whole team. I'm so happy right now.
Great job, Joe. Any last words? Sure, Evan.
I just want to give a shout out. We've been under the radar the whole season, just how we like it. But Aaron Rosenberger, key rusher, and that's what our defense starts with. He's huge, so shout out.
Shout out to Aaron, man.
Great job, guys. Congratulations.
As I previously
Back to
decided
you guys.
on a previous press conference, I will never call Joe Cano anything but Joe Cano. That's what I decided his name was. So, Joe Cano, MVP of the game. Guys, do you agree?
This was a pretty tight decision. It could have been either him or Finkelstein who made the huge play at the end of the game. But other than that, they both had huge games. Joe Cano bounced back from that performance that he had yesterday. That wasn't as great as he wanted. You know, he didn't let himself down, you know, and he just stuck to what he does for this U team, and it worked out, and he's the MVP.
To me, Alex Finkelstein had more impactful plays as a whole. But if you're looking at stat sheets, if you're looking at how it went down, Joe Cano had a bigger impact across the board, offensively, defensively. He made some good plays defensively, knocked a few balls loose. Offensively, he probably had the most yards on his team, which usually that's why you get the MVP. And Alex Finkelstein came clutch. He made some good plays down the stretch, and the team wouldn't have won without him. But I don't think that's MVP worthy. The way we set the MVP
In terms of value.
in terms of how we picture MVP.
He also had that big play that prevented a touchdown, right? It would have been a 3-score game now. So he had some solid moments, but yeah, Alex Finkelstein came in the clutch when they needed him most, battling an eye injury somewhat, and he did it. And they won. It was a great team win from the U.
And we see now the team going out to celebrate. Has there ever been a better coconut-scented beard than Joe Cano?
Well, we talked about it could have been lavender, it could have been the things.
No.
Just coconut.
No, it's coconut.
It has to be coconut because
It has to
lavender
be.
is too soothing and he's not tired. So
He's not a soothing guy.
he's not.
He's intimidating. Coconut's more intimidating than lavender. Everyone, thank you once again for joining us on Facebook Live. For those of you who watched, for those of you who will watch later on, thank you for joining us. The final score again, 32-31 in favor of the U over the number one ranked Low Gang. The Division E-1 championship for the spring 2018 season goes to Glow Gang. For Stefano Berardi, for Simon Dajny, for the Eagle Eye Master Control, I am Peace Delarize. Thank you everyone for joining us. Till FPF fall season, thank you all for letting us be ourselves.